you want to reverse sides. Okay, I think it's time to start. And if you have any questions, I will answer you while I'm making the tutorial. Okay, so we can have a more complete tutorial. So thank you in advance for your help. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Sketchy. I'm an Italian fighting game streamer and player. I used to have an Ultra Diamond Zeku, but yesterday was a very bad day and I lost many points, and I wanted to do a tutorial because I got a request for that by Dark Knight IND, so shoutouts to you, man. I'm Italian, I'm not an English streamer. English is not my native language, so I apologize in advance if there will be some grammar mistakes. Okay, so as you may know, Zeku has two forms, so what I'm gonna do now is analyze the normals of both forms. So, and I'm gonna show you some setups while I'm analyzing the normals. So, old Zeku first. A little disclaimer. Young Zeku and old Zeku are both useful, but you need to switch in certain matchups. For Ryu, for example, old Zeku is better. For characters like Dulcim or Guile, you need young Zeku because he's better, because he can get past fireballs. So it's not a matter of what you want to play, it's a matter of what's more useful for the matchup. Okay, after this, let's analyze the character. So, Zeku's Light Punch can be used for confirms. I mean, it's a nice poke. Sometimes it works as an anti-air, but it's not very reliable. You have a DP anyway, so you should always go for the DP. So, you can do this combo here, you can do this combo here, and it's very nice in conjunction with Standing Light Kick, which is his best poke. You may argue that this doesn't combo, but rule number one, it combos on counter it. And rule number two, the fact that it doesn't combo creates a mix-up situation, a pseudo mix-up situation, because people will start pressing buttons after this if you just do this, and you can mix it up by doing this. So if you space it correctly, it's safe, and if they press a button, they eat a counter to Gram, which is very damaging. So these are the uses for these two buttons, Standing Light Punch and Standing Light Kick. Standing Light Kick is slightly better, but it doesn't combo. So if you want to combo, you have to use Standing Light Punch. You can't use this. See, it doesn't combo. The only thing you can do is this, to make it combo into the Gram. So Standing Light Punch is the only light normal that combos into Gram. So this is viable. This is not viable, it doesn't combo, but it's very good. So use them as pokes. This is your best poke, by far. Okay, on to the mediums. Medium punch is your quickest frame trap button. So if you want to frame traps, let's say Nakali, if you want to frame trap Nakali, you can do this into this and combo into this. With counter it or without counter it. If you press a button, it gets hit. Standing medium kick is the other frame trap button, but it's much slower. So if you want to be 100% accurate and you want a quick frame trap, you should use this. But this is more powerful for the hit confirm. So let's say you get a cross up, you can combo this into this. So standing medium kick combos into standing medium punch without a counter it. So your BMB should always be this into this. And it changes depending on the bars you have, because you can do this into this, you can do this. I mean, you have many options. But if you go for combos, this is your best bet. If you're trying to frame trap, on the other hand, this is what you want to do. And this is your BMB off a frame trap. Okay, so speaking about this combo, because when I speak about the normals, I want to speak about the combo possibilities too, related to that normal. So if you get this combo, you have two options. First option is you go all the way and you get no Oki at all, but it's very good against, let's say, grapplers. Because if you're playing against Zangief, You want Zangief as far from you as possible. So you use this, he's out of range, and you can do this. And you can keep zoning him, okay? Against characters that don't have a proper anti-air, like Vega, like Bison, like Laura, you can do this and get the Oki. Or you can do this with Crouching Light Punch and do the 50-50. What's the 50-50? It depends on when they wake up and how they wake up. If they wake up with this, the 50-50 is this. You can go behind with the heavy punch flip, or you can stay in front with the medium punch flip, or the light punch flip. It's not very ambiguous, but you need to treat the flip like a jump in. So instead of jumping in, you get this flip setup, which is plus on block. And you can't get a jump in from here. So you do this, if you jump, it's not very reliable, but if you do this, you get a meaty jump in, which is also plus on block. And if they fail to block that, you get a combo, so it's all good. If you want to get really ambiguous though, you can use the EX flip and get another combo. But I don't think it's very worth it. I just do it for the frame advantage. So, 3 options. Against grapplers, or if you want more damage, you use this. Against non-grapplers, if you want the pressure, you don't end your combo and you dash in and you get the Oki. Against people without the DP, because if I'm playing against Ryu and I do this, he can just use a DP and kill me, and anti-air me. So if you're playing, as I said, Bison, Laura, or these characters, this setup is good, okay? Okay, so that wraps it up for the medium normals, for the standing medium normals. Okay, so this normal is very important. I need to speak a lot about this normal. So this normal has huge recovery on whiff. That's something specific for Zeku. I mean, it's a hint of things to come in Season 3, because it has extra recovery if it whiffs. So you should never be whiffing this move, or using this move as a buffer, because it has hell recovery, okay? Why this mode is important? Because it's a crash counter move, and it can be cancelled into transformation. This is the only normal in Zeku's arsenal, in both old form and young form, that's plus on block. Let me show you. Sorry for the Italian menus, but I mean. Okay, so if Ryu is trying to jab you out of the transformation, see, you get the counter because it's plus. So what I advise you is, if you're playing against a 3-frame character, your block strength should be this. This into this. Okay, Ryu, behave please. This into this. You use Crouching Light Punch in old and young form because it's only 3-frame normal. So you do standing heavy punch, transformation, Crouching Light Punch. If you get a counter it, you go for this. This into this, and you get a 3 hit if he was trying to press buttons. If he doesn't, you can start mixing things up and do like this into this and go for the throw, or this into this, you can go for the frame trap, because you make them respect you. But against a 3-framer, you should always start like this into this into this. And if you get the counter it, you will go for the combo. This combo over here. So this is a very crucial normal, okay? Sorry if I'm not saying hi to the chat. Hi everyone, by the way, but I'm trying to record the video, okay? So have a little patience. Yeah, so it can be used for crush counter punishes. This is very useful. I don't have the time to show you because I want to keep this video short and there's so much to say. If you do this against Vega, and if he's in the corner and he does the V-reversal, he gets hit by this. So that's very good against Vega. That's something specific against Vega. Okay, so after talking about standing heavy punch, let's talk about standing heavy kick. I didn't use this normal much in the beginning because it looks like it whiffs on crouchers. I don't know for what reason. I mean, the animation is just like that. But it's not. I mean, it's not a high, it's a mid. So, you can hit crouchers with this. It's especially important against grapplers because you need to be on the lookout. You use this as a normal, is your pretty much highest damage, longest range normal, and it crush counters. If it crush counters, you can do this. You can link standing jab after a dash in. And you can get whatever you want pretty much. Or this. Sorry. Or this, I don't know. And there's also the crush counter combo, of course, which is this. Which is pretty nice damage. I mean, it's not too bad. But other than this, it's not a normal I use so much. Okay, onto the crouching normals. I spoke about crouching light punch. I mean, you can use this as a hit confirm, but you need to end, as I said, with standing light punch. This normal, I basically never use that. Maybe I should, because you can combo. So if you do like an end jump low, it can be used like this. And also, I should use this normal more, because it has a very long range, and it's deceptive, because it looks minus, but it's actually plus. It's +1. It can combo on regular hit, it's plus on block, and it can combo into this on counter it. So it's a very, very good normal, because, I mean, it looks like Rufus's crouching heavy punch from Street Fighter 4. Of course, it's much shorter, but it's very good as a normal. This is very important too, because it's a crush counter normal, which is plus on block. You can't follow it up, because pretty much everything whiffs after this, except heavy punch. But heavy punch is not fast enough. I mean, it's not like you can follow it up with this, or this, because they all whiff. But it's good, I mean, as a standalone normal, because it's plus and it causes this. If you get this crush counter, you can go for mix-ups, such as this, which is fucking ambiguous, man. And you get the full combo. I don't know why I'm messing up all these combos, but you get the idea, okay? Look at the stun here. I mean, you get the crush counter and you go for the mix-up. If the mix-up hits, you almost get a stun. And it's plus, so it's a win-win-win situation. The sweep, I mean, I'm against the sweeps in Street Fighter in general. I mean, I guess you can use it like this, but I mean, the payback is not much. I basically never use this normal because it's slow, it's clunky, it's hella punishable, so just don't use it. The crouching medium kick. Crouching medium kick is pretty important because it's the only crouching normal you can cancel into V-trigger. So if you catch an opponent not checking his toes, you can do this and get the full combo. And it happens all the time, okay? So use that. It's a very good, pretty much the best V-trigger cancel normal it has in old form. Okay, so about the general game plan, you have the flips, which I gave you some setups for the flip. You can also do a block string like this and keep going, stay in front, go in the back, but it's a gimmick. I mean, you can do it until they punish you for that. Then you have to do something else. Then you have the grams, you have the EX grams. I'm against doing reads with this, because it has very, very big recovery. So, an important thing about grams is they beat fireballs. Record, please. Thank you. Look at this. The downside of this is that it has, as I said, big recovery. So the opponent will start to jump, and trust me, I've been in rank mode for so many, I had so many games with Zeku, and people jump at you all the time if they see old Zeku, because this has some big recovery, so use that wisely. This is much better, this is the best compromise between distance and recovery. only use this if you're very, very, very far. But that creates a new meta, because if you're just standing in this space, they will jump at you, and you have a DP, of course. So it's a good bait, because people will jump at you all the time because they're afraid of this, which does big chip damage, big damage. It's a very good tool. I'm against using this as a read. I just use this in combos, as I said. So this can be, this is your biggest combo. Let's say you stun the opponent, so you go for this, or you go for this if you want to set up into this skill, and you get Young Form, and you get the pressure afterwards. So yeah, the grand combos are pretty straightforward. As I said, this, you get this. If you want a big punish as a crash counter, you can use as many bars you like. You do this, this, and it's up to you how many bars you want to spend, but it's a very, very big punish. I think that wraps it up for Zeku. Yeah, he has this. The grab, I will never use the grab, and let me explain you why. I never use the grab because this hits, the flips, the follow-ups are not overhead. So people will be, a good player will never block standing when it sees a flip. They will always be crouching, and this whiffs on crouchers, so it's useless. You can use it as a gimmick sometimes if you catch them sleeping, but I wouldn't count on that. I almost never use it. Okay, that wraps it up for old form. Yeah, the V skill can be used, as I said, after this, and you can switch. Okay? You have a super cancel, so if you get the hit confirm, you can combo into super, but it's really straightforward. Okay? So, but I'm not a big old Zeku player. What I'm known for is the young form. I use young form all the time, and my viewers always tell me, you main young Zeku. I don't main young Zeku, but since I'm a rushdown player, I of course prefer playing young Zeku, so I have much more to say about young Zeku, because this is where it gets really complex for the combos, for the setups, and for everything. So, young Zeku doesn't have a reversal. He has, old Zeku has the EX DP, he doesn't, but old Zeku doesn't have a 3-framer, this is 4 frames, and young Zeku does, so this is crucial. I prefer having a 3-framer over having an EX move, an EX invincible move, but that's just me, Okay, so this is nice, it's a decent anti-air, it's the only anti-air it has, so get used to it. If they jump at you, you can use this from a distance, but I wouldn't count on that. But I mainly use this, or the light Hosanto. The standing light kick is your best meaty button. So if, let's say you do this, okay, I mess up as usual. You can get this as a meaty and get the full block streak, the full combo if you get to counter it. So I always start my offense with this, and I go into the target combo. Because it keeps you close to the opponent, it's very easy to go for a shimmy, for example. It's very easy to go for a frame trap, see? Or you can do this into throw, it's very easy, or you can do this into this as a shimmy. You have all the possibilities, but I always start my offense with this, pretty much like Nekali does. It's like Nekali's standing light kick, the exact same thing. This is my favorite normal, because the sketchy special is basically doing this into super. It has so much hit stun, you get a super after that. And many people don't use that, only very high level player as Zeku use this. So what they do is, standing medium punch, if they get a counter it, they do a micro step forward, which is pretty hard to get. And they do the full combo. You have many options. While I'm at it, the best combo option, meterless, for young Zeku is this. This into target combo, into medium Hosanto, into medium palm. Because this is the only combo ender that gives you Oki. Okay, so if we record Ryu waking up with a jab, look at this. Okay. I do this. Oh my god, I'm messing up all the combos. I do this. This is the light ender. He jabs me out. If I do the medium palm ender and I mess up again, I get the frame trap. So this is the only ender. I'm not going over the wrong end, the quote-unquote wrong enders. I'm only going with this because this is the best ender you can get. So your BMB from crouching medium punch, from standing medium punch, should always be this. If you have an EX bar, you can do this. Heavy Osanto, I'm sorry. EX palm, heavy Osanto, and it whiffs again. Medium palm, and you go for the same pressure. You need to run. You don't need. I mean, you can't dash because if you dash, you get no Oki. Look, you get no Oki if you dash. You need to run. And you get the follow-up. So, if you run, you can cover all the wake-up options. You do this, you do this. See? But you have to adjust your run. You have to react to the wake-up. If he back rolls, you have to run a little longer, okay? But this is your best combo. I repeat, medium Fosanto into medium palm as a finisher. If you have the bars, if you want 1 bar of meter, you can go for this, you can go for this and this. Okay, so if you corner carry your opponent, let's say you're hitting here and you do this combo. Sorry. You do this combo here. I suggest you end with the V-skill because there's a setup. And let me talk about the knockdown setup here. So, my main setup, it works every time, is okay, let me do something here. My main setup is this. I get the combo, medium Hosanto, I go into B-skill, instantly I go for the back grab, back light grab. This back light grab hits meaty, so I'm at an advantage after that. Let me show you. No, I can't do that. Okay. So I do this. I do the back grab, and I cover all the wake-ups. Every wake-up. And I'm plus. Let me show you. See, he can't even press a button. I'm so plus that the button doesn't come out. See? So, what I can do is going for this and then switching and still be plus. So I get hella pressure after that. Okay? So, you end your combo. Let me show you the wake-ups. So, let's try a regular wake-up. This is meaty. If he blocks, I have the advantage. I'm brain farting. So first case scenario, I get to counter it if he presses a button. Back recovery, I get even more advantage, so I can go for an heavy normal instead of a medium to frame trap because I get so much advantage from that. So back wake up, heavy punch, and I get the crush counter. I'm so plus that the standing heavy punch is a frame trap, okay? And that's very important. If he doesn't wake up at all, what I can do is this. I whiff one, I do a slight pause, and I do another one. And he gets into the same situation. I can't get it right today though. See? And I get the frame trap anyway. So this setup is crucial for Zeku because it covers every wake up. You can do the same from old to young, but it's not as effective. That's another reason why I love using Zeku because I get this setup. So if I do this, I can use the B skill and I can get the pressure. But it's not as effective because it doesn't cover all wake-ups. It's not a perfect meaty. I mean, I prefer using that, okay? Because I love Zeku. So, that wraps it up, I think, for standing medium punch. That was a pretty long ride, but I had to put it somewhere. So it's a great frame trap button, as I said. If you do the micro step, you can barely see it, but I'm actually doing a micro step. It doesn't work if you do it point blank. See? It whiffs. You have to take a micro step, and that's pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Not even I can do that consistently. But I mean, practice makes perfect, so hi guys, by the way, sorry for not answering you. Hi Nightcross, hi Daibai, hi Papa Man, and hi Pico. I'm gonna address you guys after I finish with this tutorial. So, standing medium kick. I mean, it's a decent normal, and it's not the best, it's not the worst. I mean, usually when I do a block string like this, I finish with this because when I'm distancing from the opponent, I don't have any other good options. So this is good. It's decent-ish as an anti-air in this zone. I mean, if he jumps at me, I can anti-air. It's not very consistent though. See? So I'm kinda against that. See, it works sometimes, but it's not consistent, so I don't use it as an anti-air, honestly. I mean, if they do this, I just do the light horizontal as an anti-air, because the light horizontal, I will get to that, has upper body invincibility, so it can be used as an anti-air. It's not perfect, but it can be used. Okay, so this, you need to be careful with this normal. This is the normal I use to shimmy, because I can hit confirm and I go into slide. I do this into throw, or I do this into shimmy. But this is super punishable. Double heavy punch is -8, I think. So it's definitely punishable. Let's say you're playing against Birdie, he can punish you with medium punch into EX bullhead, into whatever he wants, basically. So be careful. If you have the V trigger, it's totally fine though. You can also combo into super if you want. But be careful. I mean, you can totally hit confirm it. So you do this, if you see the throw whiff animation, you go for the full thing. But if you don't see, you have to stop here. First, heavy punch. Yeah, I think that's the only use. I mean, you can also catch buttons. I mean, if you're right here, you can catch buttons. And it's also a great buffer. So you stand right here, you do this into EX Santo. If this hits, you get the EX Santo. So it's very good as a zoning tool, but it's very slow. You need to be very far from the opponent. So let's say Ryu is doing, it's always awkward to show the buffer. Let's say he's doing this. You are outside of his range. You whiff this. And you hit, and you get the full follow-up. Yeah, I mean, you get the idea. So this is standing heavy punch. Standing heavy kick is a very strange normal. Okay, so to analyze that, let's do this. On regular hit, you get this as a combo. On counter it, you get the target combo. So you can do whatever you want, pretty much. You can do this, into this, into this, into this skill, into the setup I explained before. So that's a very good thing. But this move is -2. Okay, let me show you, because this is crucial. I mean, I stepped up my game by a ton after learning this normal. So I want to teach you how to use it properly. No, not real. Don't be like that. Okay. You always need reversal timing when you are recording. Okay, so if Ryu blocks standing, this normal is -2. See, I get jetted out. If it gets blocked crouching, it trades. because it's 0. That's super important, because having a normal so good that it beats everything and it's 0, it's crucial, because if you get a counter it's the perfect frame trap. It's broken as a frame trap. You get the counter it and you go for a big ass combo. But you need to be careful. You need to react to the opponent crouching or standing. If the opponent blocks standing, you need to block because you're -2. If the opponent is crouching, you can go for crouching light punch, which is 3 frame, and worst case scenario, you trade. And if it's late, you get the combo. You get this into the slide. You get this, as usual. Okay? So yeah, that's crucial. Trust me, that's incredible. Hi, wise player. That's incredible. So, Prachi Normals. This is crucial, of course. This is the best. I mean, it's a 3-framer. It can be used for frame traps. It can combo into this. I use this all the time. And even when I'm waking up, let's say I want to press buttons or wake up. What I do is this into this. If it messes up his MIDI, I get the interruption, I get this as a counter it, and I go for medium punch into slide. You can go for medium punch into this if you want. I mean, you have the options. But it's great being a 3-framer. If you get a cross-up, it can lead to the target combo. So you can do this into this, or let's say you want to cross him up, and you go for this into this. Pretty much like Colleen, Ibuki, or all the target combo characters. I mean, this target combo is a classic. So many characters have it. So you can combo this into this, and it's great. Trust me, it's great. So do this into this, or if you want to be 100% sure, you can do this into this, and it will work even without a counter it. Crucial move. This is your low, I mean, the crouching light kick is self-explanatory. It can combo into this, so you can go for like anti-low into this. You can go for the stagger like this to frame trap him. I mean, it has its uses. Then you have crouching medium punch, which is the move I use the most as a buffer. I buffer it into shoulder, and I mean, it's great. It's great. Best normal Zeku has, period. Yo, Ryu is broken. Okay. So, I buffer this into EX shoulder and I get air throw. Okay? It's great. I mean, I also use that as a run stop mechanic like this. This is something I do all the time. I do this into run stop, into the hit confirm, or I do this into run stop. But it's not true. I mean, run stop is a gimmick. It's not a proper strategy. What I used to do is test the opponent's reactions. So I do this, I see if he reacts to the run. If he's not able to react to the run stop, I'm gonna kill the guy. But if he's ready to react, I'm gonna stop doing that. So I do this. This is a test to see if the opponent can react to you. Okay? Yeah, so it's a great normal, it's a great hit confirm, it can lead you to target combo and to big damage. This is the BMB you have. It's plus, it's not so plus. If you're playing against a 3-framer, look, I showed it earlier because Perplex asked me. So, let's do this. This is not as plus as people think. I do this, I can't go into crouching medium punch. I get jabbed out. I can't go into standing medium punch. I get jabbed out. The only frame trap I have against 3-framers is this. So I do crouching medium punch into crouching light punch because it's my only 3-framer. And if I get the counter it, I go for this combo. Or if I have a bar, I go for this. Against smart players, this is the only thing you will get. So be careful. But it's the best normal young Zeku has. On counter it, you can get 2. So if you're like here, this would whiff, but you can go for this instead. Or as usual, you can go for this. It depends on how much meter you have. Crouching medium kick is your classic crouching medium kick. I mean, nothing to say here. You can cancel it into V-trigger because it's not cancelable into anything. It's not special cancelable. You do this, and you do all the target combo, the whole target combo. Yeah, so crouching heavy punch is very good because you can use after this. You can use it after this, and you get the crush counter, and you can get a combo after that. See? Dash in, target combo. And it also combos from this, from any range. So if you get a random counter extending medium punch, you can go for this. Very important normal. I don't use it enough, and I think that's a mistake. I think that I should use it. I should definitely use that more. Then we get the slide. I mean, there's not much to say here. It's pretty much like Vegas slide. I mean, the slide characters. It's very unsafe. It has a strange animation. I don't think it's a bug, but if it hits from this far, it's very hard to get it though. I get it randomly. You guys need to be on the lookout for that. Okay, I have no way to show you. If you get the crush counter, you can catch him standing, but it's very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. But it will happen randomly at times. And you need to be ready for that. Okay, this is not a good moment for me. This is not a good moment for me. Okay, there you go. You can catch him standing. So since you use this pretty much for V-trigger canceling, because don't do this because it's stupidly unsafe. I mean, it's like Vegas slide. Is it right to do that? Is it wrong to do that? It's up to you. But it's very, very punishable. If you have the V-trigger though, it's very, very good. Because you can cancel. If you hit, you get the setup. If you don't hit, you get the pressure because you're plus when you V-trigger cancel. And the setup I'm talking about is this. Backdash transformation into this. And you get the ambiguous stuff. And you get the full combo. It's great, trust me. So many people fall for this. Remember this setup. Okay? But Zeku, let's say, most people like Big Bird or myself do this setup. Zeku does this. He backdashes and he goes for an ambiguous jumping medium kick. It's very ambiguous. This was in front. So you have these two options. You go for an ambiguous jumping, or you go for the flip setup. I mean, it's always nice to have multiple options, right? So these are the two setups you get if you crush counter, because remember, crush counter is a hard knockdown, so you don't have to guess when he wakes up. What else? I think we're done with the normals, finally. What we have is the specials now. So the Osanto, like Osanto, is the best anti-air you have. It's not very consistent. I mean, young Zeku has very bad anti-airs, so you need to be very, very careful. Yeah, it has upper body invincibility, and it leads to this. If you're very good, you can do the medium palm too, and you get more damage and better OK. But I mean, use the light palm, trust me. Use the light palm. Medium Hosanto, I spoke enough about that. It's part of the main BNB you have. Heavy Hosanto can be, I mean, if you do this, it's part of the 1 bar BNB, and I mean, it can lead to the Tiger Knee, EX throw. I mean, it's a good ender for the X palm. Okay. What else? We have the palm. They're all safe, and the heavy palm is plus on block. So let's say you knock the opponent down. You do this, and then you press a button. See? It's plus. Oh, I forgot. You can combo counter extending medium punch into slide. So that's very useful. I don't use the palm very often outside of combos. The EX palm, as I said, it's part of the highest damage combo you can get. You can do the EX palm loops. I don't know if they work on Ryu, but basically what you do in the corner, just in the corner, is this. You do this, and you do the setup, and I mean, it always goes into the setup. That's my objective. If the opponent is in the corner and I get any combo, I go into the setup, into the V-skill, because the pressure is huge. What else is there to say? Oh, the run. So the run stuff, as I said, it's up to you. I like doing this. Block string, or I do this. I do something like this. Into throw. It's minus. It's like Ken's V-skill. It's the same concept. After the run, you get the slide follow-up, as I said, and you get overhead follow-up. Never use the overhead follow-up without EX. The EX follow-up is safe. It's -2. It's still slow and it's still super easy to interrupt. But if you have to use an overhead follow-up, use the EX one, because the regular one is like -6, so you will get punished. Don't use that. Only use the EX follow-up. Then we have the air throw. It's not an anti-air. Don't try to use it. Not even Tiger Knee. Not even the Tiger Knee version. Don't use it as an anti-air. It's only a combo ender. That's the only reason you should use this. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for the character. I mean, we showed pretty much everything. The jumping normals, yeah. So heavy kick is good. Heavy punch is the best jumping normal old Zeku has is jumping medium kick, because you can get cross-ups with that. I mean, it looks deceptively bad, but it's good, trust me. And it's very ambiguous too, as you can see. For straight jump-ins, you can use a jumping heavy kick. For young form, I mean, these are useless, this is not useless, but I mean, I didn't really find a use for that. This is your go-to jumping normal. I mean, you can also use it's the same, basically the same. And he has a very good cross-up button that is jumping medium kick. These are the BMBs. Okay, so I think I'm gonna freestyle a little bit to show you some like pressure, flexion block strings, the shimmy, the frame trap, the setup. I whiff, and I go for this. This is the setup I use. Very ambiguous stuff. Frame traps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or this if you're very brave, because standing medium kick is very slow. I do this. Oh, this is the Renegade special. Shoutouts to Renegade, French player. You get this as a counter hit, and you go into the super. Oh, the V trigger, right? The V skill, as I said, it can be used to end combos and for setups. Basically, I told every setup. Told you every setup possible with the V skill. Get this into this and get the pressure. If you hold forward, that's very important. I almost forgot. If you do this, let's say I'm in the corner and I want to switch sides. I use forward into V-skill. So this is regular V-skill, okay? This is forward V-skill. So it's very important if you hit your opponent with a combo and you want to side switch. Let's say I want to side switch here, I go for this. Of course, in this situation, I don't want to side switch. It's just an example. Don't put yourself into the corner, guys. That's the best pro tip I can give you. And the V-trigger. Okay, so the V-trigger, what the V-trigger does is it gives you a target combo. You can chain every normal into any normal, basically. Like you go from light punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy punch, heavy kick. The best follow-up for damage-wise is to skip the lights and go straight into the minions, like this. in young mode. This is what I do in young mode, and you can end with super if you want. So this is the best follow-up. In old form, you have better follow-ups. Let's say you want to punish. So crush counter, this, this, this. Old Zeku has the exclusive ability to teleport and combo into any normal, into any special. So the best follow-up is this. V-trigger, you go for crouching heavy punch into medium gram. That's the best damage you can get. It's better than this. And it gives you Oki, and it gives you more possibilities. Because if you want more Oki, you can go for this. Sorry. Oh my god. You go for this into V-skill and you get the setup. If you want to go for damage, you can go for this. It works, I promise. There you go. So it's all up to you. Yeah, Hosanto is -6, guys. Don't use the Hosanto on block. All versions are -6, so they're punishable. Thank you for the heads up, chat. Once again, sorry if I didn't say hi, but I'm trying to record something for the newborn YouTube channel. So all my educational stuff will go there. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. I said everything I know about Zeku. I mean, if you try to watch any of my gameplay on my stream, that's what I do usually. I mean, I do this into this, into this, or this, into this, into this. This is a block string I use. If I'm in young mode, I do this into this, as I said. I combo into this, or if I hit confirm, I go into the combo. I get the huge corner carry. So if I'm out of the corner, my plan is going for this, into medium palm, into run, because that gives me the Oki. If I'm near the corner, once again, I use this and I go into the setup. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for me. I'm gonna give the chat, since I'm streaming at the moment, like 5 minutes to ask any Zeku related questions to make the guide more complete, okay? I'm gonna cut the video. So if you have any questions, chat, please ask me. And this will go on YouTube. Okay, do we have any questions? Yeah, Nightcross, the wake up delay bug has been fixed. So young Zeku had a wake up delay bug. He had a delayed wake up, delayed by 5 frames, and that messed up every meaty. People used to mess up meaties all the time on young Zeku, but that has been fixed now, so don't rely on that. So does Zeku and Laura dating? Yeah, apparently yes. Is old Zeku's meaty light DP? Meaty light DP? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think it's viable, man. Is this a good idea to use standing medium kick? No, it's not a good idea. You should always go for the Oki, Pico. I mean, all I told you, I told you the combos I use, and I think they're optimal. I mean, if I didn't think they were optimal, I wouldn't use them. So these are the best combos in my opinion. You get this, you get this. This is meterless. If you get the crush counter. I mean, even if I get the crush counter, I go for the setup. Yeah, hi Daiba, you need to give me a setup for the meaty DP though.
It looks like I'll have to trade you. No, wait.
And Zeku talks a lot too. Okay, I think the chat is sold on this. I mean, there are no other questions. We got some questions,
Looks like I'll have to.
but I think I covered everything.
Don't waste your breath.
What do you say? Did you notice the setup? Crouching medium punch, 214 medium kick, 214 EX is a big Okizim. Okay, let's try this. This. Light kick, okay. Yeah, I mean, in the corner, yes. But in the corner, I'm always young mode anyway. Because every time I put the opponent in the corner, I go for young mode. I do this and I go instantly into young mode to do the pressure. So when my opponent is in the corner, regardless of the matchup, I will be in young mode. Because young mode has much more pressure.
It looks like.
So it doesn't happen as often. I will never get this combo in the corner. This is possible if you want to use that, but I'm never in all mode when the opponent is in the corner. You can do it without the corner. Are you sure? I mean, it's very rare you hit with this. I don't see a way to confirm this. I don't see a way to confirm this. I mean, if I hit the opponent mid-screen, I usually hit him with a medium punch. And if I hit him with a crouching heavy punch, that would be a crouch counter, man. I mean, there's no way an opponent would be hit by this. Like point blank. I'm close to him, he doesn't get a counter it. I mean, if I hit him, it's because he pressed the button. And if he pressed the button, I get the crush counter, which is a totally different animation. Yeah, I see you, man. So this is a... Since I want the guy to be as complete as possible, this is a possible combo. Oh my... This is a possible combo. Just as an heads up. But I don't see why I would hit the opponent without a counter it like this. I mean, as I said, if I'm mid-screen, I'm using these frame traps. Or I'm just poking like this. But I mean, it's something, so thank you. Okay, I mean, I think the video is long enough. I don't know, I've been going for like 45 minutes to 1 hour. I promised the guy a 30-minute video, but I went over this. So, but I think you wouldn't be sad about that. So, anyway, thank you for watching. Shoutouts to Dark Knight _IND for requesting this. Thank you for your support, and yeah, enjoy the video, man.
Waste your breath.
Whoa!